Alright, how's it going, guys? So I just wrote down all the math on a piece of paper, did all this stuff legitness. So come here, I took a picture of it so I based all my numbers off of the screenshot of that actual moment and did the numbers based off of that. So if you see price drip 32.0463, 0.114 LP per plant, 3.65 is the value. You see my assets and see my growing. If you want to look at all these numbers to match them up, pause the video. Alright, let's go back. So as you can see, LP value per plant, that's how you get it. The LP value times the LP per plant is 3.65. So you would times, the 32 point whatever times the 0.114 and you get the 365. Alright, plants owned, how do you get the value? You times the LP per plant value times the plants owned, get 1839.60. And if you want to compare that to the screenshot, whatever was produced already, you would subtract that from what it says the asset is, and that's where you'd get the 1839.60. The plants produced per day, I'm at 16.8 based on that screenshot. How you get that is LP per plant times the LP produced, and you get $61.32. And here comes the decay. So what people aren't understanding is, as soon as you compound, it's saying something. But by the time you actually compound again, so if I do it once a day, which was what I was doing, it would tell me, like, as soon as I compound, it would tell me a number that I was getting. And by the next day when I go to compound, I only got the number it was saying I was getting at that time. So it'd say I was getting 2 LP a day. By the time I compounded the next day, I only got 1.987 because of the decay. So it's like, it's ridiculous because like you're not earning this amount as it's decaying. Like, it ends up you're earning like exactly what it says you're earning when you go to recompound. It says like it's matching up, which loses your money. So now decay on average lately, it seems like it's speeding up. Like a week ago it was like 0.003 a day, and now it's like 0.005. And so it was supposed to be 0.1% a day was the decay, but there was also built in more stuff to where if there's more capital, then it decay faster because it needs to equal out, so it doesn't just everybody just withdraws and the value's nothing like instantly. But at the rate it's going right now is ridiculous. So if you follow along with this math, so decay 0.005. So at the time, so all these up top was the numbers before I go to compound the next day at the exact same time. Alright, so you put in the decay because that's what you're actually going to earn. You're not going to earn what it said today. You're not going to earn the 0.114 times how many 16.8 plants produced. You're going to earn 0.005 per produced day less. So you're going to actually earn the 0.109. If you see that, you times it by the LP value, you get 3.49. So at the exact time as of the day before yesterday, so my $1,839.60, my plants owned value would be $1,758.96. That's what people aren't talking about. They're not talking. So when the decay happens, it's happening on all the plants you own and the plants you produced. So I lost all of that, the 1758, 1839. So the plants I produced, so you can do the math. Well, I did the math up here. It said I was going to produce 61.32 cents. So what I actually produced was 58.632 at the time as I go to compound. So the new plants owned would be 504 plus the 16.8. You have 520.8 plants. You get the value of that at that exact time would equal out to the 1817.592. And as I see, you just carry it over. But the issue is, when you compound, you are looking at the new numbers you have now. Which, if you look, and this is just one day, and this is the reason I've been having an issue. So you can see I already lost $22 from plants owned yesterday and the plants owned today. Just the overall value. Yes, my production went up. Now, I would have to get with somebody because I don't even know if I can do the math on that. So I'm losing money with like 2 grand and 500 plants. So I don't know how fast you'd have to produce plants to outpace the decay. So now what you would do to show, so this is where I would be at today if I compounded. Now the next day at the exact same time, you would take the 0.005, which would make it 0.10 4, and then you would times that by the 32 and get the new value per plant, and then you times that by how many plants you own. And so it's like it's just crazy. So the only way I can see if somebody was making money is if their production of plants outpaced the decay. But at 0.005 or 0.004, the only number I did that still outpaced it, and it was only by like a couple dollars, like $2, and it was 0.002, which right now is decaying faster than that. So if you look, hold on, I'm giving screenshots. So it's 0.114, 0.115, that's only a couple hours in between. This is a day in between, and it was 0.120. So I'm going to go to the site now. It's still 0.114, but I took that screenshot 2 hours ago, so it hasn't decayed yet. And if you look at if you pause it at the screenshot I had, this one, you'll see my numbers match up with what I had down on the paper, and I did all the math that equals out, each one of those things, and then did the decay. Because the issue would be here is the next day. So I lost in value, I lost in production, and yet I own 16.8 more plants. Yes, I did add 56.56 plants per day produced, and that's how much they'd be worth based on the decay, is $60.58. And that is before I compound by the next day. So you would take the decay, 0.109 subtracted 0.005, 0.104. So at the next time, the third day, let's do that math on on this video. Okay, so it'd be 32.0. Hold on, I got it in front of me. Why am I looking down? 0.463 is the LP value times 0.104 to add the new date to decay. And then to get the third day, because you're not getting what it says as soon as you compound. You're not getting that $60.58. You're getting what it says by the time you actually earn it. So let's take that 17, the new production a day, 17 plants, 0.36, times this by, and they, of course, they don't have it on the site, so we'll go down. They only do 2 decimals on the plant produced value. So times that by 17.36, and that's what you actually produce in the next day. So I lost almost $20 in overall value, and I lost, because my previous day right before the compound, it was $58.63. So my new value was 60.58, but by the time I compound again, it's going to be 57.80. And I initially started at 61.32 a day. So like, the production rate is the only thing that could outdo this decay. Now, if somebody else who watches this video is savvy at math, please hit me up and we can go over that. Because I mean, anybody who has less money than me, there's no way they're outdoing the decay. Because if I'm not, you're not. I'm producing, well, if we go to it right now, I'm producing a plant every hour and 25 minutes. So at what rate would I have to outpace 0.005? And we can do, what's this guy doing? Sorry, I'm in a truck parking lot. Probably a bunch of noise. Sorry about that. Alright, and so, you know, pause the video where you need to, write it down on your own if you want, to compare if you're, you know, at the same rate. It could be faster, could be slower, depending on your production. Yeah, I'm not saying all the drip network stuff is bad, because I'm actually in the drip faucet and the drip reservoir. Now those are more like staking. This garden thing, as you can see, math does not add up. And they tell you gotta, like, it's all about the seeds and being able to produce a certain amount. But I don't know, like $2,000 is a decent amount for a guy who, you know, drives freaking truck for a living. Now I'm willing, if you guys want, put it in the comments and I'll do it for like, I'll do the exact same numbers, like the value and everything, because I don't like doing it in real time, because if the value changes and they're like, oh, it's because the value went down, and it's like, the value can't change on, you know, my screenshot. So yeah, let me know if you guys want me to do it for like $10,000 in the account, and see how many plants you get, because, you know, it takes 30 plants to produce 1 plant a day. So you would take 10,000 divided by 30 and get how many ever plants you're going to produce a day, and then you would divide whatever that day's LP per plant value is, and then you would divide that on the 10 grand and see how many plants you would actually get. And then after that, it's crazy. And then the weird thing is, so when you go to compound, also I noticed it so you see on the plants grown, there's no decimal points. and the value comes out to exact numbers if you do 504. But there's no decimal points, even though I make 16.8 plants. So the lost seed is also a factor. So you can't, like when you do the 16.8, that also messes with the production rate, because you got to wait that you're not getting that 16.8, you're getting 16 a day at that, if you compound the exact same time a day. So that's the way it's not exact. But I did it completely exact. If you did it, so that would be like if you did it every plant. And people say that it changes if you do it every plant, but really it doesn't if it decays the same rate. It's like if you put in one plant, it's going to decay that tiny amount to where it equals out to that one plant is, equal to the same. And if you did it, because I was doing it 3 times a day, but it's like if you do it every plant, you're just spending, it's only 10 cents, but you're spending, instead of 10 cents a day, you're spending $1.60 a day instead of 10 cents, but you're losing either way. So I mean, yeah, do screenshots. Let me know if you want me to do it on a higher valuation to see if it out produces, because that way I could break down how often, like based on this chart, I would be able to break it down on how often it produce, because I actually might do that just to see if there is a way. But with the other thing that's implemented to where it'll decay based on more capital, I don't know if that would work, because you might just end up losing more of your capital because it'll decay faster based on more people joining. And maybe that's because, like, I watched other people's video and it didn't seem like it was decaying that much, but now it seems like it's decaying more. But I think that's because more people. Sorry, I'm choking up. I think that's just because more people are joining on. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. See if your numbers match up. And this is just adding more proof to the other video, because I kind of just said it was crap, but now I'm did the math for you guys. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. And yeah, I'm not downing the rest of the projects because I'm in the other stuff, and eventually I'll get in the pigs. I just gotta observe for distance for a second first. But yeah, the faucet and reservoir and all that stuff, that's more of just staking and all the taxes and stuff. I'm gonna eventually make a video on the breakdown and the math on that, but it seems like the daily amount, like the compounded amount, is gonna outdo the taxes in the long run. I just gotta figure out at what price do you need to be to outdo taxes, the 5% tax on each compound. But yeah, let me know if you guys want me to do that video as well. Yep. Ciao.